everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. Before we get started, be sure to check out my Creative Fabric of Fans page listed down below. You're going to get some fun free SVGs as well as exclusive access to some YouTube videos early. So it's a really fun place. I post lots of cool stuff over there. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to take sublimation designs and make your own stickers. And what's really fun about these stickers is they're going to be holographic. Now you can do this on any kind of sticker paper or printable vinyl that you want to, but I thought we would try out the new Neato Labels printable holographic vinyl. What's great about this is that it's waterproof and it can be used with both inkjet and laser printers. It's really easy to use, it cuts really nice, and it prints beautifully. The color is so vibrant and I'm so happy with it. Now, if you're watching this video in March of 2022, it is National Craft Month. And for National Craft Month, Neato Labels is offering 50% off of all of their 10 packs of sticker paper, printable vinyl, labels, all the things. All you need to do is use code MARCH50 at the link listed down below. That is going to give you that 50% off, and I can promise you I've used all of their products and I love all of them, so you can't go wrong. But for this video, we're definitely using holographic, and I think you'll be happy with it. It's easy to use and super pretty. Look at all that color shift. So let's get started. We're going to use Design Space for this, and I'm going to show you a few new skills.
Whatever we do it just for fun.
The first thing that we're going to need to do to use the sublimation design in our Cricut Design Space to make print and cut stickers is to actually upload that file. So what I'm going to do is go to Upload, and I'm going to click Upload Image. Click on Browse, and then you can find where you saved that design. Or what I like to personally do is to just drag and drop by keeping the folder open where I have my images. So I'm going to use this bestseller sublimation bundle. I'll link it down below. But you can see that we have a bunch of different like Christmas ones and different things in this. So I just kind of picked some random designs that we're going to use. So first we'll start with this mom life one because I think this is going to give us a pretty good idea of how we can make something like this work for sublimation. So all you're going to do is just save it. I always just click complex, click continue, and then you don't have to do anything in this section. Just click apply and continue. Now this might take a second because these files are pretty large, but you'll want to save it as a print and cut image and then just click upload. You don't have to clean these up or anything because we're going to do a few steps in Design Space on the canvas itself in order to make these work. But again, these may take a few moments, so just give them a second if they take a little while to load. So we'll do a couple of them so I can show you a couple different versions. So again, I usually like to drag and drop. I don't love hitting browse. I find that just takes me forever. So let's do this dad girl one because I think this one's going to be pretty cool to show you as well. So it says dad of little girls. So again, I'm just going to click continue, apply and continue, and then save it as a print and then cut image. I am going to show you something over here on the cut image because I just want to point this out. Do you see all these holes in it and how it's all kind of splotchy around the sides? That is going to show you everywhere that this image will cut around if we don't do some of the steps that we're going to do. So I'll show you guys how to do those. Super easy. Let me upload one more image because we'll do 3 separate images just so you can kind of see how these will work and how to do them. It's really easy, but it is going to be a matter of kind of playing with a few settings in order to do this. So let's do this little truck with the gnome. I think that one is going to be pretty cute. And I think this one's going to give us another kind of version of the stickers and how they're going to look. So I think this will be a pretty cool one to do. So I'm again just going to load it as complex and click continue. I don't have to do anything here, just apply and continue. And then once it goes through, we'll save it as the print then cut image. Go ahead and click upload. Now once these are all over into our uploads, we'll select all 3 of them and add them to the canvas. So all I'm going to do is just click the 3 images that we chose and add to canvas. And again, this portion may take a couple of minutes because it is a little bit slow when it comes to these. They're very large images with a lot of detail and a lot of color. So it's a little bit hard for Cricut Design Space to deal with. Plus, they're giant. So the first thing that I'm going to do is size them down. I'm just going to size them down to like 6 inches just so we can see them better. And I'll pull them all apart so we can see each design. So here are the designs that we're working with. We've got our mom life, our dad of little girls, and then this little truck with the gnome. Now, if we were to just print and cut them as they are right now, it is going to cut around every single little piece. So her eyebrows, her eyelashes, the words, everything. And then on this dad one, it's going to cut all these little splotches out, and we definitely do not want that. That is where using an offset is going to come in handy for these types of designs. So let's start with the mom life one. All we simply need to do is to click the word offset here at the top of our screen. Now we can change the size of our offset by using the slide bar here or changing the numbers. Now again, this can take a moment to load, and especially I've noticed with images like this, the offset is a little bit slow. So you may need to give it a minute just to kind of think its way through the offset. But while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and change the size of my offset. I don't want a very large one on this, and so I think usually 0.1 does a pretty good job. So once it's kind of on here, we can change the sizing if we want to. So I like a little bit smaller of an offset, but sometimes you just need to like play with it. And again, it's really slow sometimes with these stickers. So you may need to give it a minute or two to kind of process what you want it to do. This might be just a little bit too thin, because if you look down here, I want these words to kind of all be together. So I want to make sure that my offset is like touching. So I'm going to try let's try 1.5 and see if that is any better. And again, it's going to take a second. This one is really, really slow. 0.5 is definitely better. So we're going to need to do a few things with this, and I'm going to show you how to do that. All we need to do right now is click apply. That's going to apply that offset. Now it looks terrifying right now, like really scary, but don't worry. We're going to go ahead and do a few things to this. So the first thing that I'm going to do is change the color of this, because that is terrifying looking. And I'm going to make it so that it is blue. Now, I will say that the contour button has been a little bit wonky. So if it's not showing up for you, like it's not for me, I need to contour this offset, go ahead and change this to basic cut. It'll allow that contour button to show up, and then we can contour out the holes that we don't want. So click on that while you have your offset selected. Now again, this may take a minute to load. Cricut Design Space has been very, very slow with some of these features. Now all I need to do is click hide all contours. That's going to make the shape, the offset, a full design. Do you see how it filled in all of the holes? So now what we'll do is we can change this back to white, and we want to also change the operation back to print then cut. So change it to print then cut standard. It will look like it disappears, but I promise you it doesn't. It's still there, and you can see it over in your layers tab, but it turns white and it hides the cut lines when it does print and cut. So now what we want to do is select where the mom life quote one is and our offset, and we want to flatten them. That's going to make them one piece so that when we go to cut the sticker out, it's going to just cut as one single spot. I'm going to reduce the size of this as well. That's a really big sticker, and we definitely don't need it that big. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next one, which this one took forever. So I'm going to do this one, and then you'll see kind of how the difference is. So do you see how this is more of a solid shape? There's not like all those little extra open spots and anything like that. All we need to do now is click on offset, and I'm going to leave it at that 0.15. That's a really good size offset for me for a sticker. You can make it whatever size you want. Then all I need to do is hit apply. And again, it's going to kind of be black, which we don't want. Change it to white. And in this one, we don't need to do any contouring because it's already a solid shape. Now all I want to do is select the offset and the little sticker here that we're going to do and click flatten. It's really, really easy to do this. So I'll go ahead and again, reduce the size because it's a little bit big. And last, we'll do the dad one. Now this one is going to take a while because the offset is so slow when it has all of these little pieces and parts. So we'll let this go. I'll come right back as soon as my offset shows up. Now that that offset has added to our design, all we're going to do is click apply. So again, it's going to turn black, which you could leave it. You can make it any color you want to. It's really up to you. But because we're going to be using some holographic stickers, I want to make sure that I do keep this as white. But do you see these little spots right here? I want to double check and make sure that those aren't going to cut through. So what I'm going to do is, again, select just the offset. I'm going to change it to a basic cut, and then I'm going to click contour. That's going to show us if there are any holes, which there are 2 holes here. So I'm just going to click on hide all contours, and that way it'll fill those in. I just hate having those little holes. I find them really annoying, and sometimes it doesn't cut great when you're trying to cut the stickers. So again, I'm going to change it to white, and you don't even really necessarily have to change your offset to print and cut. If you just select the offset and the sticker and flatten them, it will automatically change the offset to print and cut. I like to show you guys how to change it, but you don't have to. It'll do it on its own. Now we're going to cut these out with using our Cricut, and I'm going to go ahead and make a template so that I can fit a bunch of them on one sheet of our holographic paper. So what I'm going to do is go to shapes, and I'm going to select just the plain square. I want to make sure that I unlock it by using this little lock down in the lower left-hand corner. Cricut Design Space can cut 6.75 by 9.25. So that's how big I make my square. And I use that as a template to set up my sticker sheets. So what I'm going to do is right click and send this to the back so that all my stickers are on top of it. Now these are pretty big stickers for what I would normally make, but I'm going to leave them large just so you guys can see them a lot better, and we'll have a lot of holographic on them. I'm going to make her a little bit smaller because she is really, really large. And I'm going to try to fit as many stickers as I can onto my page. Now you can get pretty close to the corners, but if you don't want to get that close, you don't need to. So I'm going to use copy and paste to move my stickers, and you'll see how it kind of like freaked out and moved things it wasn't supposed to. Welcome to Design Space. Sometimes it just does weird things like this, where I didn't grab that, I grabbed the sticker, and it wants to grab something else. So just keep that in mind, that sometimes Design Space has a mind of its own. You'll notice it's refusing to grab this particular sticker, which is this one right here. If it does that, and a lot of times it does that with the copy and paste function, you can just delete the sticker and just move on. Sometimes it works better if you just click duplicate. Once you've duplicated, sometimes it just has a mind of its own. So I'm going to go ahead and make that one a lot smaller and kind of tuck one here. And I'm going to do the same thing over here and just duplicate. So I'm just going to fill my sticker sheet up so we have a bunch of stickers, and then we will go ahead and get ready to print them out. Now that we have all our stickers on our sheet, all you have to do is just go ahead and get rid of the square. You can either hide it with the eyeball or just delete it. Before you do anything else, make sure to save your project. I always recommend saving a couple times throughout making any design because Cricut Design Space crashes quite often, and with something like this, it was already having a lot of problems. So I'm just going to make sure to save it first. Now, to help Cricut Design Space when it comes to printing these, I find it best to select everything and click unflatten, and then you want to flatten it again. The reason you do this is so that Cricut Design Space isn't having to think about so much stuff. So what you'll do is just select everything again and then flatten it. That's going to make it all one piece. It's still going to cut out individual items, but Cricut Design Space will then have a lot less to think about when you go to click Make It. So all we have to do from here is click on Make It. From here, it's just the simple step of hitting Continue. Now this again can take a minute to load, so if it does take a second, just give it a moment. But what we're going to do is click Send to Printer. You'll notice that it's going to prepare your print, and it's going to give you some things and options. Now, this is one thing I want to make sure to show you. So do you see how it's coming out really, really funny like this? That's been happening to a lot of people and really often. Sometimes it prints out okay, and sometimes it prints out really messy. And sometimes you get this error. If you get this error, you can just hit cancel. And from here, I'm just going to close this out. I'm going to try to reopen it just from Send to Printer and see if it still opens messy. If it opens messy again, all we have to do is close the whole design space and reopen, and usually that'll fix it. But typically just restarting it will work just fine. Now we're going to use our ET2720, which is our Epson inkjet printer. These can be used with inkjet or with the laser printer, which is what's great about Neato stickers. And don't forget, if you're watching this in March of 2022, you can get 50% off their 10 packs by using code MARCH50 at the link down below. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to leave bleed on, and I'm going to use my system dialog. All we have to do here is then click Print. Once your system dialog opens, you'll make sure that you have the correct printer selected and then click on Preferences. In the preferences column, you have a couple options that you want to change. Number one is going to be quality. You want to change that over to high and make sure color is selected. Then for my printer, I go to more options and I turn off my high speed print. That's going to help reduce any lines that might be on your printer. Go ahead and click OK. Once you have your printer loaded with the paper that we're going to use, which we're going to use the holographic Neato sticker paper, we can hit print and it'll print out our design onto our holographic paper. Then I'm going to take you guys over to the machine and show you how to load it, show you how it reads all of the lines, and we're going to set this up to cut. Now I'm going to do die cut stickers, meaning I'm going to cut through the entire sheet. I just think those look really cool, so I'm going to use the medium cardstock setting to cut these. We're going to use the blue light grip mat for this, and this is the holographic sticker paper from Neato. It's so pretty. So what you're going to do is take this and line it up as evenly as you can on your mat. Now you want to make sure that it's facing the correct way. So the top should be at the top of the mat. You don't want to put it on upside down. If you put it on upside down, the Cricut can't read it. Now I will say I definitely got this not super straight, which isn't really good. So the one thing I've noticed is with the newest update, Cricut is not so good at reading this if it's not completely straight on your mat. So I just try to get it as straight as I possibly can. All right, that's a little bit better. So we'll go with that. That should be fine. You want to make sure it's held down really well. So go ahead and just kind of run your hand over it. And you'll notice that this isn't smearing or anything. I literally took it off the printer, brought it over here, and it did not smear at all. This is a really nice paper. So I'm going to pull my machine in. Now I'm going to use the Cricut Maker 3 this time to show you guys how to do this. Now I am going to probably need to turn off some lights, but let's try it without turning off any lights and see what happens. So what I'm going to do is load this in, and because this is the Maker 3, it's first going to pull my mat in and measure my material. Once it does that, it's going to flash the little button, the little play button, and it's going to then scan my lines so that it can know where to cut. So we'll go ahead and hit that, and it's going to scan the lines. Now again, we may need to turn the lights off for this, so we'll see what happens by leaving all the lights on. But this being such a shiny paper, we'll see what happens. So now that it's done, we're going to go ahead and check the cut, which is what I always do before I pull my stickers off. And I can tell you they did not cut all the way through, so I probably needed to go with the heavy cardstock setting. I haven't cut these before, so definitely do a test cut, but they did okay. I could probably cut them again, so let's do that. So what I'll do is show you how to do a double cut. So all you have to do is just don't unload your mat and just hit the go button again. So it'll probably read our lines again, and then it's going to cut around the stickers. So now that we've cut it twice, let's see how it cuts much better. Cut through, so we can go ahead and unload. I'm going to go ahead and slide the machine out of the way. And I'll show you how to unload these stickers super easy. What I'm going to do is flip my mat over, and then I'm just going to kind of peel back, and you can see how simply these come off. You can just kind of push them off with your finger. That way they don't bend and get kind of damaged when you're trying to pull them off. So let's go ahead and get these all off of our sheet, and usually you can just kind of shake the sheet and they'll come off. Because they did cut through, they just have little cuts that are holding them together. There's so many edges to them. So let me go ahead and get these all laid out, and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so here are our finished stickers. You can see they're so holographic, so super cute. This was really easy, and this is how you can use those sublimation designs that you absolutely love and adore and make stickers with them. Now again, don't forget, if you're watching this in March of 2022, that you can use code MARCH50 over at Neato Stickers, listed down in that description box below, to save 50% off of their 10 packs, which does include their holographic sticker paper. So I'll go ahead and peel one of these off so that you guys can see. Now this didn't cut great. I have calibrated my machine a ton, and it's just not calibrating well. But these are nice and sticky. They're super easy to use. See if I can get that to focus for you. Look how cute. And the color is gorgeous. I absolutely think these are so beautiful. The color is bright and festive, and these could really be used for lots and lots of things. Neato Labels definitely has a really high quality holographic sticker paper, so be sure to check them out. If you guys have any questions about this or any other things that we do with crafting, please let me know in those comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Be sure to subscribe to my channel by hitting that big red subscribe button down below. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting!